Okay, class, this is the first annual Polar Vortex Harmony 1 class coming to you live from the man cave down here in my lower room at the piano. And this is approximately where we left off the other day in class. So I thought it might be good for us to take a try at self-test 2-4. We'll try a couple of these together and see if we can find some answers together. Remember, this is like Sudoku with time signatures. We're not going to give you the whole line. You're going to have to work in both directions. All right, so the information that is given to us here on the first line, we see compound. Compound means that the beats are going to divide into threes. Simple means that the beats will divide into twos. But here we have a compound, so we know that the beat, or the beat note here, is going to divide into threes. So a dotted quarter, of course, is going to divide into 3/8 notes, like this. I hope you can see that. We're going to try our best. And then we have the word duple. So 2 times 3 gives us our top note, number of the signature. All right, and then we know that with compound signatures, the division of the beat is the bottom number. So here the division is 8 notes. So we have compound duple. The beat note is a dotted quarter. It subdivides into 3/8 notes. We know 3 because of the word compound. Compound beats divide into 3. And then 6 is our top number because duple, 2 times 3, gives us the number 6. And 8 is our bottom note because the division of the beat with compound signatures is the bottom number, 6/8. And that's this particular signature. All right, so you can feel those beats. You can feel them subdividing into threes. Okay, that's the first line. All of these answers, by the way, you can check in the back of the book. That's why I felt it was safe to work out a self-test, as it would be good practice for us. So, since there's no one to call on, I'll just have to keep calling on myself, which is good because I'm pretty smart. I think I can probably make my way through this chart. So, here we go. The next line, all we are given is a time signature. We're missing everything else. Now we see the number 9 here. That tells us a couple things. Okay? Remember that I told you that 6s, 9s, and 12s, can you see that? I hope you can. 6s, 9s, and 12s are all the top numbers for compound signatures. All right, so you see that and you're going, well, this can't be a simple something or other. This has to be a compound signature, okay? And then another thing we can tell from this is with the number 9, okay? You can't get the number 9 by going 2 times 3, okay? So duple is out of the question with 9/4. So this has got to be triple. Okay, because 3 times 3 gives us the number 9. So we're going to say immediately that this signature is compound triple. All right, so we're getting there. We're working our way inside. The next thing we know is that the bottom number is the division of the beat. So we know already, even though we don't know what the beat note is yet, we know already that this signature, the beats divide into 3 quarter notes. Okay, we know it's 3 because compound, the beats divide into 3 of something. So here we see the bottom number is 4, so 3/4 notes. All right? And then all we need to do is combine these 3/4 notes to find out our beat note. All right, well, 2/4 notes combine to make a half note. I hope you can see that. And then we still have 1 to account for, so we're going to dot the half note. Remember, a dot is equal to half the value of the note that it precedes. So now we have 3 half notes worth of time in compound triple. That's what a measure of 9/4, one of the beats would look like this in a measure of 9/4. Okay, so that's line 2, compound triple 9/4. Here on the third line, I sure hope you can see this. I'm just guessing you can. If not, you can kind of listen and work along in your own book as we go. Here on the third line, we have 6 of something. Well, rather than trying to guess what that bottom number is, let's take the information that we do have and kind of work that way. So 6, I take you back up here. 6s, 9s, and 12s tell us, oh, we're dealing with a compound signature. So we know the answer over here is compound. Now, you happen to be working in a self-test where all the answers are compound. That's not going to be the way the quiz is. I'm going to mix up compound and simple. So you're going to have to think these kind of things. Oh, I see a 6. He said 6s, 9s, and 12s are the top numbers of compound signatures. Okay? And then, remember, compounds divide into 3 beats, so 2 times 3 gives us 6. So we know this has got to be duple in order to get the number 6 on top. 2 times 3 gives us the top number. So what we need to find out now is the division of the beat. How does a dotted half note divide into 3? Well, look up here. We just did it on the previous line. Dotted half note divides into 3/4 notes. All right, so our division of the beat is 3/4 notes. And then we know with compound signatures, the simple ones don't work this way, by the way, but the compound ones do. The division of the beat goes down here. So here we have quarter notes again. So this would be a measure of 6/4 time. Compound duple. The dotted half is the beat note. That subdivides into 3/4 notes. The division is the bottom number. And we know it's compound again, just reviewing, because a top number of 6, 9, or 12 tells us we're in compound land. We're not in simple land. Okay. Here's one where they give us number 4. They give us the beat and meter type. Compound quadruple. Let's just start with that for just a minute. Compound tells us it breaks into 3 parts. Quadruple tells us it's 4 beats in the bar. So 4 times 3 is 12. That's how we're going to get our top number. Okay. 4 times 3 is 12. Now, quadruple, again, 4 beats in the measure. We also know that the division of the beat is the bottom number. So here we have 16th notes. So we know this is a signature of 12/16. Now, we're not going to see that very often, but so what? We could still have one hypothetically, because the division of the beat in compound signatures is the bottom number. And the top number is 12. We got that. 4, remember quad is 4. 4 times 3 gives us 12 for the top number. And remember, any signature with a 6, 9, or 12 on the top, we're definitely talking about compound land. So all we have left to do is to combine these 3/16ths into a beat note. Well, we know that 2/16ths combine to make an 8th note. All right, so there's our 8th note. And then we still have 1/16th unaccounted for. We know that a dot here would represent half the value of a 16th, or an 8th. So it represents a 16th worth of time. So the beat note is a dotted 8th note. We got the 8th note by combining 2 of the 16ths. 2/16ths make an 8th. And then the dot represents half of the 8th. That's a 16th. So that's where we account for our third 16th. Compound quadruple time. In this case, 12/16, because 4 quadruple times 3 equals 12. And 16ths because the division of the beat is the bottom number in compound time signature. Okay, we have one left to do, number 5. You've probably already got it filled in. I would hope by now you'd recognize, oh, we got a 9 here. He said that 6s, 9s, and 12s. We're talking about compound signatures. Okay, not a simple signature here. And then we know that 3 times 3 equals 9. So we have to be talking about triple, compound triple. Can't get 9 by going 2 times 3, and you can't get 9 by going 4 times 3. So that sort of rules out duple or quadruple as options here. So this is compound triple. We know that the division of the beat in compound signatures becomes the bottom note, the bottom number. So this is 9/8 time, because this particular time signature, the beat note divides into 3/8 notes. So 8 comes down here. The only thing that's left is to figure out what the beat note is. So I combine 2 of those 8 notes. I know that 2 8 notes combine to form a quarter note. It's not a very neat one. And then I have one left to account for. So that third one, I'm going to dot the quarter note. And I have 2 8 notes plus one more. That makes 3/8. Do you notice in compound signatures, all of the beat notes are dotted? Don't just put a quarter note here, because I will tell you that can't be a beat note in compound time, because they have to subdivide into 3 of something. Well, the way you get a subdivision of 3 is to have a dotted value here, as you can see up and down this column here. So hopefully that was a sufficient review of Self-Test 2-4. Now you can go to the back and check my work, or you can just try the whole thing on your own and see if you come up with similar answers. All right, now we're going to have to adjust things just a little bit here, and we're going to look through the rest of the chapter. He does a summary. I don't know if you can see this page or not. I hope so. But he does a summary of signatures. He talks about simple signatures having 2s, 3s, and 4s as their top number, and compound signatures having 6s, 9s, and 12s as their top number. And then he goes through the some of the bottom numbers and such. In simple time, the bottom number stands for what kind of note gets one beat. So he's coming down here and he's saying if it was something 1, then the whole note would get 1 beat. If it was something 2, a half note would get 1 beat in simple time. If it was something 4, like say 4/4, the quarter note would get 1 beat, and so forth. Okay. Now, on to another interesting situation here. Don't know how clear all of this is because I'm just trying to shoot it on my phone. But more on durational symbols. Can you see this up here at the top of page 33? I don't know. I'm looking in the camera. Yeah, I guess you can. More on durational symbols. All right. Here is a measure of 3/4. We're kind of moving on to a new topic now, but it's still part of rhythm. Here's a measure of 3/4, and it's correct in its math. In other words, we have 2 beats here, and if you combine these 2 8 notes, we have 3 beats. He says this is incorrect, however, in the way it appears visually. This will be a very difficult rhythm to clap and to know where to put that 3rd 8th note. Okay? It would be much better to notate it like this column here on the right, where it says correct. I don't know if you can see that or not, but here he has made it very clear where each of the beats are. Here's beat 1, here's beat 2, Here's beat 3. And I know that